And welcome back. Well, today, the secrets for selling your home quickly for cash. It doesn't matter where you live or what condition your house is in. Laith Lavada is a real estate investor, buyer, and owner of First Prime Realty Group. He's going to tell you more. Welcome to the Morning Blend.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I think this is interesting. And sellers and people who need to sell their home, they need to sell it quick for cash. Why would a seller sell to an investor like yourself?
Well, most of the times that the seller is facing some sort of hardship, such as a divorce, a job loss, a relocation, a death in the family. Maybe they've inherited an unwanted home and they just need to sell the home quickly.
Yeah, and why would they need to sell quickly then for cash?
Well, a lot of times when they're going through a hardship like that, maybe money is tight and they need to get access to the cash in their property. But a lot of times those homes also need massive repairs, and the seller is unable to complete those repairs and sell to a traditional buyer, and going the traditional route through a real estate agent and something like that, paying commissions and closing costs is just too much.
Yeah.
So there is no real estate commissions or closing costs with the homes that I buy, and I am the buyer, so there's only one person looking at that property, and it's more of a guaranteed closing.
So you're kind of cutting out a lot of those middle people in there, and it's very direct. I like that. I think that's important for people. When they need that money quick, a lot of times they might have unwanted items or things that are in the home that maybe they don't have time to sell or get rid of. What do you do with that?
Well, that's correct. And we just had a gentleman, he was 90 years old, and he couldn't move the items out of his property. The family was out of state, didn't know a lot of people in the area. So what I like to tell sellers is just leave what you don't want and we'll take care of it. We've even had someone leave a car in the property before that we...
Really?
Yes.
They just got to go.
Yeah, they needed to get out of town. I mean, one time we had someone who was facing cancer who needed to get out of state and get treatment. It was in Chicago, and thankfully he beat cancer, so now he's coming back to town, and that's great. I'm thankful that we were there to allow him to have that easy transition and that easy sale, because he did have a lot of unwanted items that we were able to move for him and get him out of the property. We closed that transaction in under 3 days for him.
Oh, wow, that's quick. And when someone is under that sort of time frame or health condition, I think that's so important. We're seeing these before and after pictures of what a condition of a house could be. So like you said, tons of repairs needed, potentially. Maybe there's a lot of unwanted items, and what you do to kind of rehab them, turn them around and sell them. But what if somebody needs the money to be able to move? So they need the money to move to make the move.
Right.
What do you do then?
Well, and that's in a lot of circumstances, because if you think about it, if somebody needs the cash in their property, the house is in disrepair, they're facing a situation where they've got to move quickly, whether it's moving into an assisted living facility, which a lot of our homeowners have to lock down a sale of their property, get the money, and then close on the transaction, have the money in order to move into that
even hold their
location.
spot.
Exactly. Or put down on a new rental, or if they're buying another home, they need access to that cash to move, to pack up, to pay the movers, or put down on those homes. And so that's why we do a post-occupancy agreement in those situations. We allow the seller to stay in the property after closing, then they have the finances to go ahead and make the move.
What about in terms of just, I think somebody says, okay, this looks great, you know, like I need to do this, I'm in a pinch, or I need to get out of the home that I'm in, or I've been given, or whatnot. You know, what do they need to know when they're looking to sell to a cash buyer like yourself?
Well, there's a couple things. First of all, you want to make sure that you close a transaction through a third-party title and closing company.
Okay.
That ensures they get their cash profits and ensures that I get clean title to the property. So you don't want to do a kitchen top closing, so to speak. Signing a purchase agreement, coming to an agreement of who's going to buy and for how much is important, but you want to make sure that you're closing the actual sale through a title company, a third-party title company. And there's something that national buyers and even local buyers do, is they don't do the inspection pre-offer. That's one thing that separates us, is we'll go in and look at the property, make sure that we understand the condition and the repairs that need to be made, so we can give them a solid net profit at the end of the day when it closes, so they know what they're going to get, and we're not pulling out of the transaction at the end. Some of these national buyers will go under agreement, not look at the property, then pull out at the end or try to reduce the price, and now we have someone with a U-Haul sitting in their driveway. They can't sell, and we don't want that to ever happen. So we make sure that we know the number that we're going to close on, so that seller can have an easy, smooth, stress-free transaction.
Well, that's what's so important, that stress-free, because it's a very big decision to make a move in your life, and I think that can be a very stressful time. How do they know they're going to get cash profits in their hand? Because that's what you talk about, that net profit.
Exactly. We put that right in the purchase agreement, that net profit, purchase price, whatever, but who's paying the closing costs? Is there commissions? There are no commissions on the properties we buy because I am the buyer, so there's no real estate agent involved, there's no closing costs involved, so there's a purchase price and a net. And they're usually the same thing on our agreement, so the seller knows this is exactly what you're going to walk away with, which is really important when you're trying to make plans and you're in a stressful situation. Hey, what's the money I'm going to receive in this transaction?
Yeah, what's that cash in hand? Because that's what's clearly important, especially in these situations. So I know you've got this 24-hour cash offer line. This is a no obligation 24-hour cash offer line. It's at 414-310-6955 to contact First Prime Realty Group. You can go to wewillbuymilwaukee.com as well to contact Leigh. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.